Here's a line drive high and deep to left. It is gone! 3-run home run, Kyle Kubat. Fly ball to left, Sweeney hit well, and Charlie Capsella, what a play! Here's a line drive out to center field. It's a grand slam! Going back is Shaw. He is going to get there. What a catch! And he's going to hop over the fence while doing it. What a coming home. It's Morales to throw on a double hop. Is it in time? It is in time! Here's a rocket. Deep left field. Does this have a chance to go? It is gone! Go ahead, homer. Tyler Wilkins on the first pitch. Play called for a back on the 14th, and there's number 100. Stephen Devaney with a line drive to left. He's 2 for 2. And with triple digits for number 1 as difference. And here's a ground ball shooting through the left side. And Kingsway has won the Ralph Shaw opener. Here we go. Fly ball deep left center field. And it is gone. Grand slam. Scott Lynch, grand slam. Is the man of the hour. There's a ground ball that's going to go into center field. It's going to be picked up, and it's going to be booted. Here comes the runner to the plate, and Pittman has won it in extras. Walk-off single, Jude Engstrom. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic.
Live from the Angelo Natoli Stadium, we're getting ready to wrap up our 2023 football season with our first of 2 games this week. It's the Woodbury Thundering Herd and the Gateway Gators right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting for a 5:30 p.m. special in our first Wednesday Night Lights edition of the year. Tomorrow we have Pittman and Clayton from Haupt Field right down I-55. It's going to be a good one, 10:30 a.m. start time for the Clippers and the Panthers, and that's where we're going to close our 2023 football campaign. The last time these two teams met, Woodbury won in a close 6-0 defensive gauntlet, but there was a different reason behind that. Woodbury rested 10 of their starters. They were still competing for a state title and wanted to play their backups that weren't going to play at SHI Stadium the following week. But the difference between last year and tonight is that Woodbury's been knocked out of the running. They lost to Woodstown in the sectional final, and now they have all of their starting 11 ready to go, and they are now looking to improve to 7-4 to close their 2023 campaign after a painful 21-14 loss in that Group 1 sectional final to the Woodstown Wolverines. But Gateway's had some growing pains under the new head coach of Andrew Daly, the former Cherry Hill East head coach and NFL Europe quarterback, who is now making his final game as a freshman head coach for the Gators organization. They're 2-7 this year. We were there for his first win with a 19-0 win over the Haddon Township Hawks, and then just recently they won a crossover game with a matchup versus Lakewood that they won 15-14. But their hopes were dashed after a 48-2 loss to Lower Cape May to end the regular season. And now they look to close the 2023 campaign on a high note with Woodbury coming into town for a crosstown rivalry. We've got Donna Wilkins, our producer, in the booth today here from Angelo Natoli Stadium on a bit of a brisk Wednesday evening. We're going to get ready to start very shortly. We'll talk about these two teams and more right after the national anthem and the kickoff right here on DWB. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
All right, we're back here from Angelo Natoli Stadium. They're getting ready to do the national anthem and the pregame ceremonies as Gateway is taking the field. Woodbury's getting ready to come out here from the visiting locker room, and we have Gateway Regional Class of 24 student Brandon Myers doing the national anthem this evening for us. Gateway does a nice tradition where somebody from the marching band each week, somebody different does the national anthem. Somebody did it on a acoustic guitar the first time we were out here. They did an excellent job, and now we've got some brass specialty this evening. We'll keep our mics live, but I'll keep my mouth shut as we will honor our country with the United States of America national anthem in just a moment. We'll keep it here.
Yeah, yell down. Yeah, it's red, that's why. Hey guys, come on. Can you hit that yellow button down there?
Bring him out.
On the box,
Yellow button.
right there, box right there.
What yellow button?
He said a yellow
right
button.
there. The flashing. Yeah, we'll take it.
There you go.
You got it.
The captains are moving to midfield for tonight's coin toss.
Oh, 77.
Representing Woodbury are Israel Russell, Wilson Torres, Brian Banks, Jaden Johnson,
All right, fellas, we have the end of the year, right? For you seniors, congratulations. We'll have you present. Fellas, white cross to white, blue
Right
cross
there on
to
the
blue.
left. It does.
Where?
Guys,
Right there.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, one of them
If
channels
I have a problem with something or one of my officials is going to come to you to help in the relationship. I just want to clean, fair, okay, we're the visitors. I have a head and I have a tail. I have a head and I'm going to flip it, drop it. What is the call? Tail. Tail's is the call. It's the head. Stick, receive, defer,
This is really interesting. You're hearing the referee from our microphone. You're hearing the referee discuss the coin toss.
Won the toss, elected defer.
So you just heard it right there from Steve Cuzzy. Gateway won the toss and will defer, so Woodbury will receive to start the ball game. We'll bring it right back to the booth here for our pregame ceremony.
And this
There
time
we
we
go.
ask that you please rise as Gateway Regional High School senior Brandon Myers performs our national anthem. Gateway Regional High School senior Brandon Myers.
Well, you just heard it right there. That was Brandon Myers on the saxophone with an excellent national anthem performance. And with that, our second to last football broadcast of the 2023 fall season is ready to get underway. I'm Dan Wilkins here in the booth at Angelo Natoli Stadium with my producer Donna to my right. We've got an excellent ball game getting ready to get set here for 48 minutes of exciting action, which in any other sport would be a Colonial Conference tilt, but instead it's a WJFL matchup between the Woodbury Thundering Herd and the Gateway Gators in a crosstown rivalry matchup. As you heard from our PA announcer, Mike DeChico, it is the 46th installment of this Thanksgiving tradition. Last year, Woodbury won 6-0 after they rested 10 starters en route to a state championship. In the year prior, in 2021, Woodbury won 34-7. The last time Gateway won was when they had that magical 9-1 season in 2019, beating Woodbury handily 34-6. Before then, Woodbury had won 11 straight contests between 2007 and 2017. And now, edition number 46 of the Crosstown Rivalry is getting set to be underway from Angelo Natoli Stadium. Gateway to kick, Woodbury to receive. This one sent away, lands at the 15, picked up by Wilson Torres. He's going to get a break down the far sideline. He gets across midfield and is taken down past the 50, around the 45. And that's where the Thundering Herd are going to get their start this evening. Start time here in this one, just a couple minutes off schedule, 5:34 p.m. here in Woodbury Heights. The weather for this evening's contest.
Daytime temperature 52 degrees.
Well, there you go. Just answered my question right there. 52 degrees with cloudy skies, but of course you can't see that with no sunshine being out. I'm still having to get used to this because it's just so early in the day. It feels like it should be, nice and bright out, but that's not how we're rolling this afternoon, especially with the fact that in about a month it'll be 4:30 when the sun completely goes away. But Jaden Johnson in the shotgun gets a pass over the middle. It's incomplete. Intended for number 17, Nico Sotarian. It'll be second down. 54 degrees here at start time. Wind blowing to the west and northwest at 9 miles per hour, 71% humidity. Going to be cloudy all day, which is certainly an improvement over yesterday where it was raining nonstop from like 2 o'clock to, all the way until the sunrise this morning. Luckily, we play on turf, so we don't really have to worry about any of those issues that you would have on grass fields, but In football, you play any game, rain or shine. It's caught by Wilson Torres, who had the nice kickoff return, and they're going to bring it up to the 38. They'll cut down half the distance. It's third down. Got some nice grooves here tonight with the Gateway Regional Marching Band.
Your mom was a band geek, so she wants to get down there and start marching.
You were in the color guard, right?
Yeah.
Back with Haddon Heights?
A flag girl.
There you go. It's a good accomplishment. 3rd and 5 from the 39. Johnson lining up from the right hash. He's going to pitch it back to Torres, and he's going to break free. That looks like it's either good or going to be just short. I'm not sure. Bender on the stop. It will be 4th down and about a yard. Thundering Herd will keep the offense on the field here after they had an incompletion, a rush up the middle, and another one that went about 3 yards. First down marker is at the 34. Johnson up the middle, and I think forward progress is going to get him across there, and in fact it will. It'll get him a first down and then some, so Woodbury, after not the most successful set of downs, they will get another one, and they'll start fresh from the opposing 33-yard line. And Woodbury will have another shot at life here. I mean, first play of the game, they went with that pass from short range to Soteri and couldn't grab it, though. We'll see if they keep to the run game here. No, Johnson lets a pass fly, but it is, I think it might have been picked. There you go. How about that? That was great right there from Gateway to set that tone, and they got the new set of downs, but Woodbury is denied after the interception there. Wasn't sure who picked that one up, but it'll be 1st and 10 for Gateway. Yeah, he wasn't on my original roster, so that one is incomplete, intended for DJ Bink. Chase Rossi, number 15, was the fellow who picked that one off and gave Woodbury their first offensive possession opportunity of the evening. It'll be 2nd down after that incompletion to DJ Bink. As we said, Gateway this year, 2-7, with a brand new head coach in town in Andrew Daly, the former quarterback who played 2 years professionally in Germany, along with the former head coach at Cherry Hill East, before being replaced by Tyler Drob 2 years ago. But Gateway with wins over Haddon Township and Lakewood this year, as that one gets snuffed out with Lex on the carry. That'll be short. It'll be 3rd and long after the incompletion and the tackle for loss by the Herd. But they had a stretch of 7 straight losses in a row, losing to Collingswood, Pennsville, and Middle Township all on the road, then losing 3 straight at home to Keyport, Cumberland, and Pittman. They closed out their season on October 21st with a 48-2 loss at Lower Cape May, all the way down there in Cape May County. I'm telling you, if I had a football game in Cape May County, I might have stayed there the whole weekend. Simmons is going to let this one fly deep downfield. It's caught! DJ Bink to the red zone. He's tackled inside the 10. Wilson Torres brings him down, but an incredible pass down the far sideline puts Gateway on the doorstep of the end zone.
Gain of 62 yards. Oh! And that is a Gateway first down.
Gateway gets the first down and then some with a pass from their own 40. How about it? And when these guys meet next year, Woodbury would be the host, and it would actually be on Thanksgiving Day because Woodbury's field does not have lights. This is the only field of the 2 that does, so Woodbury would have to play on Thanksgiving morning, which is why we're here now, as Gateway plays it on Thanksgiving Eve. But for the QB, Sean Simmons, 5'10", 185 pounds, a senior. You know, this is our fourth Gateway game of the season. I have not seen that kind of deep ball action from him really at all. So the fact that he kind of went for broke on 3rd and long and it's worked so successfully
Second and goal from the 13-yard line.
maybe shows that with one game left on your resume, you're going to ball out and, you know, kind of show scouts what you're capable of. Snap back to Simmons. He finds a hole in the defense. He's going to break through, gets a couple of yards, gets inside the 10 to about the 8. And that's where Gateway will set up shop on 3rd and goal.
Stop made by Robert Meadows along with Samar Wilson. 3rd and goal for the Gators.
But remember, Gateway is a program that has seen some very good times in previous years. They went 9-1 back in 2019, so the glory days are not that far behind, and I think with Daly as the head coach, they can 100% get back to it. But part of it starts at, you know, the pipeline that you have and the people that transfer over, the people that, you know, want to genuinely join your football program, and a lot of this is homegrown. Look at this! Up the middle! Touchdown, Gateway! They strike first! How about that? Up the middle, the Gateway running core gets the first points of the game thanks to Gavin Lex. And that's going to make it a 6-0 score in favor of the home crowd. They will try for the PAT. Sending this one away is number 20, Golem Khan. Whoa! Snap is muffed. Woodbury has it back, but it's going to be a failed PAT. So the PAT is no good after the snap was muffed. Remember, their usual kicker would be Ty Bink, but he has a broken wrist and is out for the remainder of the season. So Golar Khan is the player that is kind of the backup kicker. But remember, in high school, there really is no such thing as a backup kicker. The backup kicker is whoever can show off the best at practice, you know? Like, there's some programs, especially in the Group 4 and 5 circuits, that have, you know, those kind of pipelines for those special teams positions, but not every team has that luxury, especially for these small schools. You know, even Woodbury doesn't have a dedicated kicker. We saw that on November 4th when they had their sectional semifinal versus Burlington City and the Blue Devils in a game that they won 57-0. Even when they had, you know, a 40-45 point lead, they still went for 2 because they didn't have a specialized kicker. The only time that they only went for 1 was when the game was so out of hand that the clock was running late in the 4th quarter and they kind of got a touchdown by accident. Here comes a squib kick. It lands at the 36, picked up at Woodbury's 35. Looks like Dante Vicarelli on the carry there on the return of about 5 yards, and it's picked up where Woodbury will set up shop at their own 35. Anthony Reagan, his 6th season and his last game in his 6th season as Woodbury's head coach after they had the state championship last year, came up a little bit short in 23. But a 12-2 record is nothing to scoff at, including the playoffs. You know, they ran into Woodstown, who's such a good Group 1 powerhouse. But the problem is that when they played Riverside in the first round, the score was 40-8. When they played Burlington City, it was 57-0. They had been riding so high. I mean, when you score, you know, 97 points in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs and you outscore your opponents, again, 97-8, you're bound to run into some growing pains when you reach an opponent that's at the same caliber as your offense and as your defense. And Woodbury lost that game by 1 score, 21-14. Here comes the rush up the middle. Wilson Torres breaks free. He is gonna go all the way inside the 30. He spins around, carrying the blue and white by their feet. And that gets them inside the red zone on just 1 play. And that will be an easy first down for the Thundering Herd as they look to even this game up. Yeah, as we heard, their 44-yard gain on the play. It'll be a first down from inside the red zone at the 18-yard line. First and 10 from inside the red zone. Handoff to number 9. Kadeem Woods gets a couple of yards. Second down. About halfway through the first quarter, Gateway has an early 6-0 lead here on DWB. 5:45 remaining. We'll try it again. 2nd and 7 here for the Thundering Herd. And we've got dirty laundry on the field here. Going to be false start on the offense. That'll knock him back 5 yards and bring him back to 2nd and long. Well, how is Gateway going to get the early edge? One way is certainly going to be via penalties. You know, Woodbury's had their fair share of false start calls, you know, and offsides go against them this year, but, you know, that's kind of inherent in every football team. What matters is how you come back from that, as it looks like Gateway is going to pressure him, but that will be incomplete intended. Looks like for number 17, again, Nico Sotarian. That'll be 3rd down. But one of the things that we've seen is that Woodbury is good under pressure. They found that, you know, when it's 3rd and long or 4th and long, we saw on the 4th that they converted a 4th and 25 play when it looked like they had no shot. So we'll see what they can do now. Coming in, Orlando Concepcion. And we've got a timeout call by the Thundering Herd. With 5:02 left in the first, we'll take a quick break. Gateway with the early edge. They lead 6-0. Timeout's over. 5:02 remaining in the first. Woodbury challenged with a 3rd and long on the opposing 20. After the false start penalty, they called a timeout. Johnson drops back, looking to throw, or maybe not. He breaks free to the near sideline, gets inside the 10, inside the 5, diving towards the pylon, and it looks like it's going to be short by a hair. But even with the adversity at their backs, Woodbury scrambles through for a 1st and goal.
1st and goal for the Herd.
I think that's what Gateway did not want. Obviously, you don't want to give up yards, but they're going to try to force his way through, and Johnson waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown, Woodbury! And they'll even up the score here midway through the first as the Thundering Herd are the ones to strike second, but they are on the board. It is 6-6 as they'll go for looks like the 2-pointer. But, yeah, I think if Gateway wanted to keep that edge, they had to make the stop on 3rd down. You know, you look at the fact that they haven't won this Thanksgiving contest since 2019, and you want to take every break that you get and, you know, capitalize to its best ability. So if they could have made that stop, forced a 4th and long, or even a turnover on downs, you want to hold out as long as you can, even if the offense doesn't have the productivity. So as long as you have that in your court, you're good. But now that Woodbury has a touchdown on their hands, they can now turn on the Jets and go back into the offensive mode.
Woodbury will go for 2.
Woodbury will go for 2. As they said, they don't have a rostered kicker. Here comes a rush, and that's going to be short. It's going to get swallowed up on the rush by Kadeem Woods. Sean Simmons is all over him, and a host of blue and white stop that one short. With 4:37 remaining in the first, we are tied up at 6. We'll keep it here as Gateway will now receive the kickoff for the second time today. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement Center, the place to be for wholesale kitchen cabinets and countertops at heavily discounted rates compared to big box retailers. Visit today on 612 Creek Road on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar, next to the 42 on-ramp. You can also visit their Philadelphia location on the 2600 block of Tioga Street in Philadelphia. But why don't you keep it local? Keep it in Belmar. No need to go over the Ben Franklin or Walt Whitman. Or if you want to go a little out of your way, the Tacony Palmyra.
Anywhere they want, just support our sponsors.
Yeah, there you go.
Said like a true CFO.
There you go. I mean, I guess you have that position unofficially, but...
I think I carry several.
You do. You do. Don't forget, be up bright and early tomorrow before you pop the turkey in the oven. Pop into some DWB football with the Pittman Panthers and the Clayton Clippers. Their 98th edition of playing this Thanksgiving game from Haupt Field in Clayton, NJ. 10:30 a.m. start time tomorrow. We're going to have Vincent Vogt on our color commentary call. It's going to be fun. It's going to be our last and 23rd football game of the 2023 campaign for high school. It's been a fun ride, but the wheels are finally coming to a stop.
23 for 23.
Here comes the kick by Johnson. Sends it away. That's going to be a kick out of bounds, and that will give Gateway some good field position to start this drive. Well, that's something that you see a lot more often in high school and maybe D3 or JUCO college football than you would really see in like D1 or, Power 5, even NFL, just because of the fact that, again, those kickers are so specialized. But who sent the ball away for Woodbury? Jaden Johnson. You know who he also is? Their quarterback. There's a lot less specialty in these smaller schools when it comes to special teams. The kick returner or the punt returner is also the wide receiver or the running back. So when these smaller schools come to play, they have to get creative with the special teams. And that's why Woodbury just every time, except for when the game is extremely out of hand, they just go for two. It's the safer bet so that you don't have to risk bringing an inexperienced kicker out there and missing the PAT. Simmons breaks free from a tackle. He finds room down the near sideline. He gets to the 45, and he steps out of bounds with Aiden Barbado down there as well. That's going to get him about 8 yards, and in fact, actually, no, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be enough for a Gator first down.
First down!
And that's smart by him for getting that ball out of bounds, but he was rolling out to the right. I think, honestly, Simmons had no intention of passing that ball. I think what he was looking for was a gap up the middle or even to that near sideline, but the way that he got around that Woodbury defender was really nice, and it threw him for a loop, and it threw Gateway enough for 10 yards. From their 45, here comes a handoff to, I believe that's Lex. Gets it right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Don't forget, we kick off or even tip off the 2023-24 basketball season with a Colonial Conference tilt between the Haddon Township Hawks and the Paulsboro Red Raiders on 7 o'clock on December 14th. Bundle up, although they do have heating in the Paulsboro gym, so stay tuned as our basketball schedule is being released soon. We are working with Gateway in some capacity, so stay tuned for that, and you can also follow us on our Twitter/X at DW Broadcasting for updates on when that schedule will be announced. Up the middle intended for number 8, Aiden Bender. It'll be third down.
Third down and 10.
But, people ask me why I've been to Gateway 4 times this year, even though it's a 2-7 program with a brand new head coach. But I say, well, first of all, Gateway was looking a lot better than they were last year on that August 31st game versus Haddon Township. And I'll be honest, after the third quarter ended 5-0, did I want the game to stay 5-0? Absolutely, because you like weird scores in football. I think even Mark Tribble said he had never seen a 5-0 game before, but of course it ended in a more mundane fashion of 19-0, but still, you know, a field goal and a safety, you don't see that every day in an offensive production. Simmons is going to be tackled, but he's going to gain probably about a yard. It's going to be 4th down. And it looks like that's going to be enough to bring out the special teams unit here with number 20, Gholam Khan, the 5'8" sophomore, listed on the roster as a wide receiver / defensive back with 3:10 and counting. They'll punt this one away. Punter's lined up on his own 33. Jaden Johnson and looks like Dante Vicarelli is back to return. Oh, that punt goes over the head of DJ Bink. He picks it up at his own 20. He'll try to find a gap, and now he's going to get some room, but he gets leveled right at the line of scrimmage. So that will give Woodbury some good field position to start their next drive. And that's not good for Gateway because that took a lot of momentum out of their sails right there. I mean, obviously you want to get that punt off, and again, there's a lot of issues when it comes to punting and being able to get the ball off efficiently and consistently, but that's just kind of bringing a situation from bad to worse, and especially with how productive and efficient Woodbury's offense is, shouldn't be too much of an issue here on their opposing 44. But yeah, we're really excited about the basketball season. We've never done basketball before. Obviously, the schools that we can cover will be less because of how many networks cover basketball, and not just that, but because of all the indoor live streams that happen. You know, we're kind of going into uncharted territories, but that's what I'm all about. What did Wayne Gretzky say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I'm going to send those emails to the ADs. I'll get a lot of no's. I'll get a couple yeses, and I'll get a couple, I'll call you backs. But that's what this business is all about. Jaden Johnson takes it to the near sideline, gets free, gets tugged by the jersey, and is out of bounds with Sean Simmons. So that's some QB on QB battles here, as that'll be enough for a Thundering Herd first down. First and 10 from the 27. Got a gain of 15 yards on that last play on the rush by Simmons. He's got a screen, gets over the middle on the slant. It is caught, and a wide open touchdown, Elijah Young. That is enough to give Woodbury the lead, and that's exactly what I was fearing. You know, when you look at this situation where the game could get out of hand if you don't keep your P's and Q's in order, and that's exactly what we just saw there. They gave up one play for big yardage, got enough for a new set of downs, and by the end of it, it's really not much you can do. Woodbury again goes for 2. They missed the first time as the rush by Kadeem Woods was unsuccessful. Now he lines up next to Johnson. Hurd sent a man in motion. Looks to pass. Again, he's scrambling. He has room, and not a problem. PAT is good. And I don't know if that was lack of awareness on the defensive part of the ball, but Gateway left that whole half of the end zone open, and Jaden Johnson was able to bring it through for 2. With 2:25 remaining in the first, we'll go to break. 14-6 in favor of the visitors. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter as Woodbury sends this one away. picked up inside their own 20. Oh, excuse me, I had the wrong receiver there. It's picked up, and Gateway will start their drive now down 8 from their own 35. Taking a look at the previous history, Woodbury leads this Thanksgiving series by a score of 33-12. Gateway last won 2 games in a row in 2018 and 2019 with 41-6 and 34-6 respective wins over the Thundering Herd. Before then, Woodbury had won 11 straight matchups in this rivalry, with 2007 being the first and 2017 being the last, including back-to-back shutouts of 40-0 and 61-0 in 08 and 09. Here comes a rush up the middle.
Next the ball carrier.
And actually, the game notes that were made by the athletic director, Mike DeChico, which does an excellent job of preparing these game notes. I mean, this is 10 pages of full-color paper. You know, I hope that there's enough in the school budget for all the printer ink that he uses for these game notes, but he does an excellent job on them. You know, I am prepared every week for Gateway broadcasts just because of how in-depth that information is. But under the column Rivalry History goes under the line that says Gateway and Woodbury have historically played their game each season on Thanksgiving morning. The contest is an unofficial homecoming game as large contingencies of alumni of both schools often return for the game year after year. The series began in 1978, coinciding with Gateway joining the Colonial Conference. From its founding until 1978, Gateway was a member of the Olympic Conference. Now, the Olympic Conference now is kind of like a school for those larger, like the regional schools, like the Group 3, 4, and 5. They are mostly in the Olympic Conference now in South Jersey. Here comes a pass deep, and in double coverage, it's incomplete. Almost got picked off by Jaden Johnson, and it'll be 4th down, so Gateway will sacrifice again. But it continues. Prior to the opening of Gateway Regional in 1964, students from its 4 sending districts attended Woodbury High School. Gateway and Woodbury currently co-op for a number of varsity sports, including boys and girls cross country, swimming, and wrestling, creating familiarity and added intrigue to one of the friendliest rivalries in South Jersey. Gateway hosts the contest in odd years. Woodbury hosts in even years. So next year in 2024, it'll be the Thundering Herd who have home field. As here comes a really good punt from DJ Bink. It's taken in at his own 20. But Johnson is going to barrel through. He's got room. He breaks free again. Are you kidding me? He's still on his feet. And he gets down inside the 5 for a 75-yard punt return. That's the kiss of death right there, you know. They I praised Bink for a good punt, and Johnson brings it back for a 75-yard plus return as Woodbury again looks to strike before the end of the first quarter. They've got 14 seconds to play, and they lead by 8, 14-6. They've attempted the 2-pointer twice. They were unsuccessful the first go-around, and they were good on a rush by Jaden Johnson the second time. Johnson has the second touchdown of the day. So Woodbury will take the field from their opposing 7-yard line. So Woodbury sets themselves up already on the doorstep of the end zone. For 1st and goal. Johnson in shotgun. Woods to his left. Torres behind him, and we've got a flag. Offsides on the defense. So offsides on the defense is going to give Woodbury an even better advantage. Some great grooves in the stands tonight. The award-winning Gateway Regional Marching Band. Johnson looks to pass, lets it fly, and it is caught. Touchdown, Herd. Brought in by Kadeem Woods, and it's enough for 6. Well, Gateway had the early edge. Gateway had the early edge, and now Woodbury has, as they say in the Steve Miller song, taken the money and run. But
You had to make the comment about wearing Dave Matthews' shirt, they win.
well, yeah, I was talking about that. But Woodbury will go for 2 to make it 22-6 if they convert, which they do. Wait, no. I had the wrong person on my on my center of vision, and Woodbury now with a 1-for-3 rate on converting the 2 points. They've got a chunk of change left in the first quarter with Woodbury leading by 14. It's 20-6. We'll keep it here on DWB. What a night! You know, Gateway had that early score. They had the interception, and I think Woodbury was eked by that a little bit and decided, you know what, we're going to play 110% tonight, which you should every game. You should play 110% every game. And that is where I think that football philosophy should always stand no matter what the score is. But, you know, I think Woodbury right now with, you know, Anthony Reagan as their head coach, the way that they kind of think is, you know, hey, we've got a good game going, but don't back off, you know. You could see that philosophy present in their, again, 97-8 score over their first 2 playoff opponents, Riverside and Burlington City. And again, that Riverside touchdown was late in the game when it was out of hand. Woodbury steamrolled everybody until they couldn't do it anymore. They just ran out of gas. Woodbury's going to send us away. And once again, that rolls out of bounds. Second time tonight that's happened, but again, all that's going to do is help Gateway. So, you know, you take the breaks you can get. You're down by 14. You have 4 seconds left in the quarter. You've got time for one play and one play only. So they will take the ball at their own 35 for one more play before the quarter ends. And Andrew Daly having a talk with QB and senior Sean Simmons, number 17. But, you know, look, these guys are playing for school pride, if you will. These guys are from the same town. You know, all of these guys are in Woodbury. They just go to different high schools. A lot of these guys know each other very well, and that's why it's described as one of the friendliest rivalries in South Jersey. As Lex gets a couple of yards here, and that will end the first quarter. After 1, it is Woodbury 20, Gateway 6. We'll take a quick break right after this. 1 quarter down, 3 to go. Here from Angelo Natoli Stadium in the 46th Thanksgiving meeting between the Woodbury Thundering Herd and the Gateway Gators. Woodbury got a couple of yards on their first play of the drive after being the beneficiary of a kicking out of bounds penalty, and now timeout is called by the Gators before we even get a playoff. So Andrew Daly will talk to his guys. We'll keep it here. This broadcast is brought to you by Vincent's Lawn Care. Fall and winter cleanup is now available. Give them a call today at 609-413-0403 for a free rate.
Happy Thanksgiving and welcome home.
Yes, this is Thanksgiving Eve. The most wonderful time of the year.
Get your stretchy pants ready for tomorrow.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, I don't eat turkey, so it's...
No.
And I don't think you eat turkey either.
Well, there's ham, though. No, I eat turkey.
Oh, yeah. I don't eat turkey. I eat ham. You eat turkey but don't eat ham. Which I don't understand because...
And we fight over the mashed potato.
Well, no. Turkey is possibly the most driest and blandest meat that you can possibly eat.
Depends on how you cook it.
I would rather have brisket on Thanksgiving.
True.
Go down to Deptford, go to Mission Barbecue, get
A tray of brisket.
Yes. Or a brisket sandwich, get like that 6-pack of sauces. I would 100% get brisket for Thanksgiving. Yeah, we do. Spent $18 on it, barely used it.
Yeah.
We just got to get a slow cooker to get the smoker. There we go.
Learn how to cook brisket.
Lex up the middle. But yes, to everybody that is viewing our broadcast today or even tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. Wish you the best of times with your families. We hope that all of our viewers do not have to have awkward conversations with their in-laws.
I know my father-in-law will be happy to see me tomorrow because I'm bringing deviled eggs.
Yes. He might be the only one in the house that gets to the deviled eggs.
Yes.
3rd and 8. Well, if this game continues to get out of hand, we will continue to have plenty of Thanksgiving chatter before the end of the night. Here comes a drop back. Simmons fires a pass, broke it up. And here comes a flag, and I think that might be a personal foul on Wilson Torres. We'll hear what the Whitecap has to say about it. Yeah, I think the way he was standing over him, kind of like a taunting move. Oh.
Read that wrong.
So, well, no,
No, I get you.
I didn't completely read it wrong. It was a penalty, but it wasn't the penalty that I thought it was. I thought he was kind of showing him up a little bit, but still counts the same. It's still an automatic first down, but it's not the 15 yards that you wanted, That would have resulted from a personal foul. Actually, they are going to get the 15 yards because that pass was short, so it is an automatic 15 yards. That gets them across the 50 to the opposing 48. Simmons is lined up in the shotgun. Man in motion. Maybe a end around. No, here we go. Flea flicker, deep, wide open and incomplete. Intended for Dylan Cruitt. And it's 2nd down. Gateway's kicking himself for that one. DJ Bink had the opportunity for a play of the year candidate, and he was wide open too, but went in and out of the hands. Luckily, it wasn't picked off, but now you got to go back to the drawing board here on 2nd and 10. But again, down by 14, you got to throw stuff at a wall and hope it sticks. You really kind of look at what these guys are doing out here, and you basically say, let's use our assets in the best way possible. If Gavin Lex is the best rusher you have, utilize him more. If Cruitt's the best receiver you have, utilize him more. That's going to get stopped right on top of the Gateway logo at the 50, and it'll be 3rd and 12. And I say here, I'm obviously not a playbook aficionado, but if I'm you here, I let it fly. You've seen that Woodbury's defense has had a little bit of trouble catching up to that Gateway offense, especially on the receiving core. I don't think they've really picked up on that offense yet. You're on 3rd and 12. You're not going to hit a field goal from the 50-yard line. Just go with your gut. See what happens. Obviously, don't throw to the guy in double coverage, but this is where Simmons has to channel in his ability to scan the field. Find your man and try to get it. All you need is 12 yards. It's 34 feet, not as hard as you think. He's going to let it fly on the run. It is, incomplete, but a late hit. I'm surprised there was no flag on that one. It's 4th down. Wow. It was a heck of a throw, but what I was surprised about is that he was hit before the ball came down. I don't know about that one.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, I mean, the way I saw it, it looked like he kind of lowered his head a little bit to lead with that hit. So you win some, you lose some. I mean, Gateway already had a good break with that defensive pass interference call. I don't think they were going to get it twice. Now he sends it away on a line drive punt, kind of like a squib punt there. Takes it into the 25. Oh, and gets tripped up. He is down at the 31.
Tackle made by Aiden Marvino.
So Woodbury gets the ball back after an unsuccessful but valiant drive by the Gators. And with 9:50 remaining in the second quarter, it is 20-6 in favor of the Thundering Herd.
The annual Gateway Alumni Soccer Games will take place this Saturday here in the stadium. The women's alumni game will begin at 10 a.m. with the men's game to follow. All Gateway Alumni Soccer players are invited to participate. Be sure to wear those blue and white shirts. That's this Saturday at 10 a.m.
1st and 10 from the 32. (20-6). Woodbury leads by 14. Johnson in trouble, gets spun from below the waist, and that is number 15. Yeah, there you go. Chase Rossi there, who had that interception, continuing to be a force on the defensive side, even with Gateway down 2 scores. You got to do what you can to give your team an edge, even at long odds. You know, these guys came into this game after losing last year by 6, mainly for the sole purpose of the fact that Woodbury was resting 10 of their starters preparing for a state championship. The year before that, they lost by 30. They want to change the narrative. They want to show that their team and Andrew Daly's team is not just somebody to roll over. They're going to pitch it up front to Torres, and he gets taken down at the 30. So they get about 8 yards, and that brings them back to where they started. As Chase Rossi again with a tackle. He's had that interception. He's had some great plays tonight. And even if Gateway doesn't pull this one out, he's going to be remembered as a very honorable player for this ballgame. But Rossi, the senior, 5'9", 140 pounds, he has been a force to be reckoned with on the defensive side of the ball. Johnson drops back this time. Not much pressure. It is incomplete. Intended for number 18, Orlando Concepcion. With Dylan Cruitt there and on the defense, and Woodbury will bring out the special teams unit on 4th down. There's only one other game going on tonight here in South Jersey. It's the New Egypt Warriors and the Bordentown Scotties, of course named after the famous Scotty dog. When we have updates on that score, we will update you, but there are plenty of good games going around the state tomorrow morning. And of course, we'll be down in Clayton for coverage of the Panthers and the Clippers in their 98th matchup. The only other game yet to start is St. Thomas Aquinas and Immaculata, as here comes the punt by Donta Vicarelli. Oh, it is muffed, and Woodbury's going to get the ball back. Oh, my goodness. They bounce the punt perfectly, and Gateway loses their possession. And what was going to be a dead drive ends up being revived. It's first down from the 40. Wow. I mean, that's just a shot in the foot right there. I mean, there's not much you can say about that, where it looked like he was on the ground, tried to get it, and it just skipped right past him. For the games tomorrow, Camden Eastside and Camden, Gloucester Catholic and Gloucester, PVI and Camden Catholic in a parochial matchup. We're going to have an official timeout here. Pittman and Clayton, as we said. Holy Spirit and Atlantic City, picked up by a friend of ours in BFA Live Sports. We've got Steiner and Hamilton West, where my father went to school, class of 1990. Cherokee and Seneca. Vineland and Millville, that's where Mark Narducci is going to be tomorrow. Johnson drops back. He lets this one fly over the middle. No problem. Touchdown, Woodbury. Vicarelli. Excuse me, Wilson Torres. That makes it 26-6. A 20-point lead for the Thundering Herd, looking to make it 22. From the shotgun. Johnson with the fake, and he gets tackled. PAT is no good. They are 1 for 4 on PAT attempts. We'll take a quick break. 7:41 remaining in the first half. Woodbury up by a boatload. Woodbury is going to send this away, but Chase Rossi getting some assistance. Unfortunately, looks like he might have some sort of leg ailment or maybe something with his knee, but yeah, so hopefully he's okay. He has been the shining spotlight for the Gators this evening on defense with an interception and several tackles for loss. One is sent away to the 20. Gets it up the middle to the 32. And Finger wiggles his way for Gateway's possession here. Chase Rossi with the Gateway athletic trainer, Chris Metzgier. But this Gators team led by head coach Andrew Daly, assistant coaches Dustin Widener, Ed Stewart, Mike Brown, John Harbold, John Zagone, and Matt Getz. The biggest win for Woodbury in this 46-year history was a 58-0 win on November 22nd, 2012 at Woodbury. The biggest Gateway win in their history was 41-6, again, that aforementioned 2018 game, both of them being held at Woodbury High School. But as we were saying, there's some great Thanksgiving games on tap tomorrow. Cherokee and Seneca, Riverside and Florence. It's going to be the last game for Coach Joe Frappoli after a 50-year career. Gavin Lex brings that one down, and it looks like, hold on here. Refs are going to talk this one over. It looked like it was a close call. Not sure if they called it a catch, but Woodbury's coaching staff trying to give their argument for an incompletion. Oh, that's what the discussion was about, not about the catch. It is an illegal man downfield, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty on Gateway for 1st and 15. But as we were saying, Riverside and Florence, that's going to be a fun one. Again, Coach Joe Frappoli, his 50-year career, he's been coaching since 1973. He is finally retiring, and tomorrow will be his last game. There's also Haddonfield and Haddon Heights. That game will be broadcast on the radio on 94 WIP for their annual broadcast. That one's going to be second down. And then, of course, my hometown, Audubon and Haddon Township. That is at 11 a.m., one of the later games of the day. But that will wrap up our football season after tomorrow. By the time the final whistle strikes at, maybe around noon or 12:30 on November 23rd, it'll be a 23-game season that we will have covered from August 23rd, our first ever football broadcast with Bishop Eustace and Camden Catholic, all the way to Pittman and Clayton tomorrow. You know, I have had an excellent time covering these football teams from all around the state. We've been up in Central Jersey. We've been towards the shore. We've really been everywhere, and I could not thank my loyal viewers and subscribers enough for making a kid's dream possible. This year is my senior year in high school at Audubon. As an independent broadcaster, it means a lot for me to be able to have these opportunities. We've worked with over 40 different high schools in the 2 years that I've been doing live streaming. I've done public address work since 2016, but I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I've worked hard to get to this point, and I've had a lot of opportunities. I've had a lot of lucky breaks over the years, but it all goes down in the end to my loyal viewers and subscribers. We recently surpassed 1,400 on our total subscriber count. We're nearing 500,000 total viewers on our YouTube page. Some of that is from compilation videos. Others are actually from the broadcast, but we've had over 60,000 views for our broadcast this year, and I never would have thought it would have gotten to this point so early in my career. But again, big thanks to everybody, whether this is your first broadcast or your 100th. I appreciate all the kind words and support, and of course I hope to be back here, not just in this booth, but in booths all over the state starting next year in 2024.
Johnson and Torres to return for the Herd.
Gateway will punt this one away. Again, DJ Bink to send this one away on a line drive, kind of a knuckleball, taken in at the 43. Returned by Torres. He gets past the 50. He's whistling by everybody. He gets to the 35 where he's taken down, and a herd of Gateway gets to that receiver right there. So a good field position for Woodbury as they look to extend their lead with a reasonable 5 minutes 30 seconds. 5 minutes 30 seconds before the half with a 20-point Woodbury lead. Remember, if the score is 24 points or more at the half, they'll have a running clock to start the second. Remember, Woodbury's had a tumultuous season. They had some easy wins to start the year, and then they lost 3 in a row. They lost to, I believe it was Paulsboro, and actually, no, I'm going to check that real quick before I say something I shouldn't. So let's just check them on that. I know they lost to Gloucester and Haddonfield, but Woodbury lost 3 in a row after starting the season starting off the season 3-0. They were quickly humbled back to a 500 record. They beat West Effort, Pennsgrove, and Paulsboro pretty handily, 31-0, 48-6, and 48-12. Here comes the pass from Ibn Muhammad. Gets it past the line of scrimmage to Jaden Johnson. And he gets about 5 yards to the 20. But then they lost 3 in a row, all close games. 21-6 to Haddonfield, 14-8 to Gloucester, and 27-21 to Woodstown. Then they came back and closed off the season with a 49-14 win over Salem. But that's the tumultuous part of their season. They started off 3-0, and then they went to 3-3. They only went into the playoffs with a 7-3 record. And again, that stretch where they beat Riverside 40-8 and then Burlington City 57-0, didn't really set them up with the adversity that they needed in that sectional final versus Woodstown. But that's what sent Woodstown to the States. That's what you've got. And then they lost to Glassboro in the state semifinal, so Glassboro will be playing Mountain Lakes next week in the Group 1 state final. 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Johnson in the shotgun, drops back. Gets it past the line of scrimmage, and it's incomplete. I wasn't sure where he passed that from. I thought that could have been from the 20 or from the 25, but that'll be 3rd down. But yeah, Woodstown has the rare honor of saying they beat them twice. The reigning Group 1 champions, they had guys like Jabron Solomon out there who's now kicking in FCS football, but look, when you got a star power core like that, and then you come back the next year, you don't really have the same energy, and that's where you get that 3-3 record from and the 4-3 record in the regular season, including that last week win versus Salem. Johnson gets out of trouble, stays out of the pocket. Oh, he gets taken down for a loss. That'll be 4th down. That would be the second time tonight that they'll have forced Woodbury into a 4th and long situation. DJ Bink is going back to receive, so my assumption is that they'll go for the punt. That's what they'll select. .325 and counting. No, Bink's going back in, and they are going to go for it. I am surprised by this. They got a good QB spy on that one. He dumps it off. It's caught, and that's going to be enough for a Woodbury 1st down, and it's going to be short of the end zone at the 3. I don't get that though. I really don't understand that, because you're up by 20. You've got plenty of chances to score, and on 4th and 11 you go for it. Kind of seems like a slap in the face, if you will. I'm not a huge fan of that, but that's going to set up 1st and goal from the 3. I mean, you're up by 20. You've got a little bit of time left in the first half. Just feels a little disingenuous, but I'm not the one who makes the playbook. Timeout called Woodbury. We'll take a quick break. 2:25 remaining in the first half. And it's a Woodbury 20-point lead, maybe soon to be 28. We'll see what they can get. Gateway first and goal, or excuse me, Woodbury first and goal from the opposing 3 as they look to strike again. Up by 20, they had a huge break on a 4th and 11. They pass to the corner, and it's going to be out of play. Johnson intended for the pylon for number 6, Robbie Meadows. Meadows, the intended receiver, and that makes it 2nd and goal.
Intended receiver was Meadows. 2nd and goal for the Herd.
Woodbury on the doorstep of a score again after trailing 6-0. They turned on the Jets and they scored 4 unanswered touchdowns, potentially 5 in this first half. Ever since midway through the first quarter, Gateway looked like they had some life in them, and then they had some things that just didn't go their way, and Woodbury's been in the driver's seat ever since, with some time to play here in the second quarter, 2:17 on the clock. Quarterback lineup from the 8. Here comes a rush. Breaking through with no problem, and it's a touchdown, Wilson Torres. Their 5th of the first half as they continue to barrel through, making it an even 32-6 in favor of the visitors. Woodbury, if they hang on to this one, would improve to 7-4. Gateway would fall to 2-8 to end their 2023 campaign in the first, with Andrew Daly as their head coach. Maybe I don't know what the middle school has in offer. I don't know what incoming class of 28 will have to offer for this Gateway team, but with the seniors that they're losing, Gateway is going to have to take a different approach in the coming years, because they have had an excellent football program. They have an excellent, group to support it. You just need the manpower, and that's exactly what Gateway has been lacking in the last couple of years. We have a penalty marker. Let's see here. An illegal substitution. So an illegal substitution on Woodbury.
You can see that they definitely have a good program, and they've got the framework there.
Right.
So it's just a matter of getting the right people to come in and play. But I'm very impressed by their program.
I mean, again, it's not just about the amenities, but it's also about the fact that, look, this is a public high school. There's really no recruiting, It's whoever falls into your lap. If Woodbury has... or if Gateway has great youth football programs like they do with the Westville Gators up on, I think that's near Clements Ridge Road, but, if you've got great programs over there, that will feed into the high school program. The parochial schools obviously kind of have a leg up because they get to scout those guys and bring them out. Oh, look at this. Johnson in trouble. Pass. Leaping. Caught. And for their second 2-point conversion of the day, it's going to make it 34-6 on a highly contested catch in the end zone by Robert Meadows. So an even 2 for 5 for Woodbury in their 2-point conversion, but that rubs it in a little more, making it 34-6 with 2:11 to play in the first half. Woodbury will kick it off, and Gateway obviously will receive, but man, it's just been a rough night for these Gators, especially for these seniors. Sean Simmons is an excellent quarterback, and he's had some rays of sunshine tonight, but Woodbury's just overpowered them at every turn, and it could be setting up Woodbury with their 4th straight Thanksgiving win. They won 37-10 in the 2020 edition, 34-7 in the 2021 edition, and 6-0 in the 2022 edition. It was the first one-score game in the Thanksgiving game history since 2006, when Gateway beat the Thundering Herd 12-8 in the 06 matchup. And before then, it was a 28-20 game, again with Gateway leading since 2002. The last time Woodbury won a one-score game in the Thanksgiving tradition since 2002. Before then was a 1993 win for the Thundering Herd, and you're going to get a kick out of this. The final score, 6-2 in 1993. Talk about scoregami. This is going to be sent away by Doran Dunbar. No, excuse me. It's going to be Jaden Johnson again, taking in at the 17. Gateway's got a good run with Bink.
Bink on the return.
Gets back to the 39, and that's where the Gators will take over with 2 minutes and some change left in the first half. This broadcast is brought to you by the great folks over at the Garden State Pet Center, the place to be for all things pet-related, including the healthiest food products available for your pet. Toys, cages, accessories, and more are also available. Visit today, 7 days a week, in person, on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, or visit online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com. Yeah, big thanks to Victor Santucci for supplying that sponsorship to us back in May. He's been one of our most loyal sponsors over the months, over the seasons.
And since you recorded the commercial, they've added some really exotic birds and some other pets.
Gavin Lex brings it over the middle for about 5 yards. Gets it to the 43, 44-ish. We'll see where they mark it on forward progress. It's second down either way. And it will be from the 43. Under 2 minutes to play here in the half. Woodbury leads 34-6 by 28 points. They're 2 for 5 on 2-point conversions this afternoon. Dropping back to pass, Jack O'Connell, and there is nobody in sight. Third down. I don't see, I guess, yeah. So I guess Gateway is putting in their reserves, although, I mean, you can see Simmons out there. He's on the sideline talking with, excuse me, that would be number 99. There's number 99, Brenner Tuttle back there. And number 28, Andrew Archer. But I'm not sure why Simmons is not in the game. O'Connell is in. Getting some clarification from the sideline. Jackson Bailey, number 19, lining up next to him, Adrian Torres. O'Connell rolls out to the right, throws it away. And I'm surprised there wasn't an intentional grounding ruling right there, but I guess it was because he was out of the pocket. But I believe the rule is, if I'm correct, is that if the, yeah, you know what, they must have heard me up here because the penalty marker comes down way after the play, and if this is what I think it is, yeah, intentional grounding on the offense. Well, that was not just a great call, but it was a great explanation as well. Yeah, okay, so it's a loss of down, so they'll set up fourth here with 1:15 to play in the first half. But, you know, the rule basically, it's one of those weirder rules when it comes to the interpretation of it, but if the quarterback is out of the pocket, the ball has to make it back to the line of scrimmage regardless of who it's intended for. Bink sends it away on a bullet over the middle, lands at the 50, picked up by Torres at the 45. He's had some good returns tonight. He'll go for another. We've got several players down. And hold on here, we've got, yeah, we've got a whole bunch of dirty laundry on the field here. We'll see what this is all about. I saw some pushing and shoving where there shouldn't have been pushing and shoving, so this could be going back. The marker is at the 34. See what the Whitecap has to say about it.
Woodbury, number 12. That's a spot foul. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So block in the back on Woodbury. It's the ancient saying, with great yardage comes great holding and blocks in the back. It's exactly what happens. There's been, for every punt return TD, almost 3 of them are brought back for, again, that illegal hold, the illegal block, holding, whatever, personal fouls. There's usually always a caveat. Very rarely do you get a punt return of that magnitude or a kick return of that magnitude that doesn't have a flag on the play.
I'll tell you what, though, it's being spoiled having to be able to hear these refs. It's amazing to have them mic'd up.
Yeah, they're doing a great job out there, and I think it's great to also have that explanation from a crowd standpoint of where I think when you hear that intentional grounding call, some of the casuals in the stands might not understand why it was that, but he was out of the pocket, the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
To hear the explanation every time, yeah, it's great.
Like the Ed Hockley way. First and 10 from the 45, the opposing 45. Johnson deep in the shotgun, drops back. Simmons tried to rush. He gets a wide open pass. Caught by Concepcion. It's enough for a 12-yard gain and a thundering herd first down. They're going to bring it all the way up to the 31 for actually what is actually a 14-yard gain on forward progress. First and 10 for the Thundering Herd as they look to tack on another. Before the end of the half, it is 49.3 remaining. First and 10 for the Herd with Johnson again deep in that shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his left. Drops back. He's under pressure. Finds an interception. Chase Rossi with his second pick of the night.
Johnson intercepted by Chase Rossi.
He's been all over the ball on defense this evening, and of course, we were worried about his knee. No more worries. He's right back in the game, and Woodbury will have to surrender with 40 seconds to play. Gateway's seen some deep balls tonight. They've gotten the balls really deep several times tonight. But the question is, will they be able to do it one more time to get the ball into the end zone? Because that end goal is scoring 6, and you want to kind of alleviate the deficit a little bit late in this first half. You want to go into the break with Daly talking to their guys with a little bit more of a positive tone. So if you can go into the end zone and make it, 34-14 at the end of the half instead of 34-6, that'll give you guys a lot more of a positive outlook for Daly to talk to his men during the 15-minute break. That goes nowhere, still inside the 10. And that's the caveat of having the interception not into the end zone. Is that now you're kind of trapped and it makes an unusual situation, to say the least. So we'll see what they have here on 2nd and 10, as it looks like Bink, or actually Lex rather, got right back to the line of scrimmage. In the second half, of course, we'll have 24 more minutes of WJFL action here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting for our 22nd and second-to-last football broadcast of the season. Again, big thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight in what was a good game, but Woodbury has taken the reins on this one, at least in this first half, with 5 touchdowns. And Jaden Johnson being the very, very beneficial fella in this first half. Timeout called with 3 seconds to go. They kind of let that clock run. Now Gateway has 2 timeouts remaining. Woodbury has 1. They'll have a shot for 1 play that would be good for 94 yards if it holds, but again, that would require some excellent arm power from Sean Simmons or Jack O'Connell. It would be Simmons on that play, but they'll have 1 more before the half. But again, the last thing you want is to give up 2 points. We've seen a couple safeties this season, That's the last thing you want. You're already down by a bunch. You don't want to exacerbate it and, make your problem worse. When Gateway lost in their last game of the regular season to Lower Cape May, they lost 48-2, which was a bit of an unusual score, but I think Simmons is going to let this one fly. Try to get that ball deep. That's going to be short of the line of scrimmage, and that will mark the end of the first half. 50% done here at Angelo Natoli Stadium. Woodbury is up big. They've got the driver's seat. We'll see how far they can go in quarters number 3 and 4. At the half, it's 34-6. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in 10 minutes for the Garden State Pet Center halftime report, followed by 24 more minutes of WJFL football right here in the Thanksgiving Eve celebration on DWB. We'll be right back. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Dee's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Woodbury leads by a plenty here at the end of the first half and the start of the second. At the start of the third quarter, it's Woodbury 34, Gateway 6. The story's been defined by Woodbury with 5 touchdowns in the first half, including 2 from Jaden Johnson and another 2 from Wilson Torres. They've had an excellent night tonight, and they're going to try to do it again with a kick back to the 25 to start the third with Chase Rossi on the carry. Brings it up to the 40. And that goes to Gateway for their first offensive possession of the second half. Gateway had the first blood with a touchdown worth 6 on the score, by Gavin Lex, but they had an early pick from Chase Rossi, who's had 2 interceptions tonight, but after Gateway had that 6-0 lead, Woodbury quickly tied it back up and again turned on the Jets and has not looked back since. Yeah, only 2 other games going on in the state today. Woodbury and Gateway, and then also New Egypt and Bordentown, the Scotties, and St. Thomas Aquinas versus Immaculata. I think it's Aquinas. I don't know. Especially if we ever cover them. Here comes a rush. Oh, and a huge hit. Wow, Elijah Young. You could hear that from out here, and it's going to be back to the line of scrimmage on the rush by Rossi. Goes to the 41, second down. By the way, for the New Egypt Bordentown game, Bordentown leads 6-0 at the end of the first half over New Egypt. Reports from Gerard O'Donnell. So a low-scoring game over there in Central Jersey, if you will. Here comes a handoff. Up the middle and lifted by his feet. That was a WWE move right there. Third down. So a gain of 3 makes it 3rd and 7. Andy Mendlowitz is at the St. Thomas Aquinas and Immaculata game as we have time called here. We have a flag. Sideline warning on Woodbury.
Sideline warning. Woodbury. Good down.
So all that was a warning. They'll re-snap at the 42. Simmons back in the game. He drops back, gets it over the middle. Oh, look at that. He gets up to the 47, wasting no time and wasting no energy. By the way, between St. Thomas and Immaculata, no score. No score early in the first quarter. Both teams failed in their first offensive drive. They will go for it on 4th and short. Nothing to lose at this point. Simmons back behind the line of scrimmage. A big hit on the far sideline, and he's out of play. That'll be a turnover on downs. Excuse me, a correction on... Oh, hold on. Not sure what was going on the far sideline there, but there's Duran Dunbar down there. Woodbury gets the ball back on the opposing 40-something. Not sure where that's going to go. It'll end at the 47. By the way, apologies for the incorrect reporting earlier. Greg Patuto is at that Bordentown and New Egypt game. It just went final 5 minutes ago. The final score, the Bordentown Scotties 26, the New Egypt Warriors 0. And again, that just went final 5 minutes ago. Still no score in St. Thomas and Immaculata, as both teams failed in their first offensive drive. 9:35 to play in the first. First and 10 for the Thundering Herd. The QB lineup in the shotgun behind the 50. He's in trouble, out of the pocket, scrambling. That is... Hey, what a catch on the sideline by the assistant coach. Not sure who that is down there with the headset. That's a great catch by the Gateway assistant coach. Unfortunately, it doesn't count for anything, and it'll be second down. That was a great pressure on the D-line there by Steve Morlachetta. Got the pressure in and forced a bad throw. That is Matt Getz down the sideline. Played at Stevenson University with an all-conference award to his name. That one is caught, but it's going to be short. We'll see where they put it on forward progress, but that should be at the 41. Third down. From Andy Menlowitz. A touchdown Immaculata on a 1-yard pass from Mason Geist to Owen Blum. PAT is good. With 2:39 in the first, St. Thomas Aquinas trails Immaculata and the Spartans 7-0. Third and 3 from the 41. Was just short last time. Gateway had a great jump, and look at Steve Morlachetta throwing around the offense like a rag doll at fourth down. And a huge loss there. He's had some great plays on this drive, and it's going to force Woodbury into a bad situation. And looks like Jaden Johnson's out there, but from what I see, I think they might be going for it. Again, you know, you're not in a, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it then. I'm not a huge fan of it now. You're up 34-6, you know. If it was maybe one score more, I'd even agree more, but empty gun, 5 wide receivers on this play. Johnson drops back, assesses the options over the middle. It's caught. Two-hander from Doran Dunbar, who breaks free for a Thundering Herd fourth down TD. Dylan Cruitt had a handle on him, but Dunbar breaks free for the 6th touchdown on the Woodbury offense tonight, and that would be enough to give us a running clock at the start of the next drive to make it 40-6. Looks like they will go for 2. Timeout called on the Thundering Herd. They'll have a chance to make it 42-6, but before then, we'll take a quick break. 7:46 remaining in the third. Woodbury up by a bunch. Midway through the third quarter, Woodbury goes for, no, they're going to go for one. Their first PAT attempt of the night after 5 two-point conversions, 2 of them successfully. Muhammad to hold. Not sure who's sending this one away just yet. And it's, oh boy. No good. That one was headed for Deptford. It's going to be 40-6. Woodbury 2 for 6 on PATs tonight. So it's going to be 40-6 after the failed PAT, but sending that one away was Amara Sacco. So you just heard that there, 26-0 New Egypt over Bordentown, and then 7-0 Immaculata leads St. Thomas Aquinas in the first quarter. Or, I guess it is Aquinas, but yeah. I don't know.
Next time you talk to them, we're going to have to find
See, my father's also a sports commentator for for our great friends over at HSG Network, and he always told me it was St. Thomas Aquinas, but this is also,
This is the man who, when we sent out wedding invitations, said, "Oh, she lives on Azalea Boulevard."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Azalea? Oh, I look at it. It's Azalea.
Yeah. So maybe I was wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have taken his word for it.
No, you should not.
And again, a lot of great games on tap for tomorrow. As here comes a send away by Jaden Johnson, taken in at the 15 on the kick return. Oh, ball comes out. Gateway scrambles, and I think Gateway got it back. Lex on the return.
Lex on the return. Fumble on the play, recovered by Gateway.
So Gateway does get the ball back, and they'll set it up from the 30.
First and 10 for the Gators from their own 30-yard line.
You did ask me.
It's running now.
So Gateway will get their first play to drive from the 30. And again, clock is running, so we're at 6:35 and counting. Simmons with a line drive pass caught by McDudley St. Louis. No, excuse me, it is Chase Rossi. Although I do wish McDudley St. Louis gets more playing time, because I would have so much fun reading that name. Could you say he arches his way into the end zone for a touchdown? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, you can see where I get those jokes from.
18 now. Now you're doing dad jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Second and 1.
Second and 1 after the 9-yard completion to Rossi. Again, a lot of great games tomorrow. Camden Eastside and Camden. Gloucester Catholic and Gloucester, PVI and Camden Catholic. Holy Spirit in Atlantic City, that's being streamed by BFA Sports. Pittman Clayton, that's our game for tomorrow, the 98th edition of that Thanksgiving Classic. As here comes the rush up the middle by Lex.
Lex on the carry.
Should be enough for a first down.
Stop made by number 50, Brian Banks.
Banks on the stop there.
And that is a Gateway first down.
First and 10 from the 45. Shotgun handoff by Simmons. Up the middle, gets it just past the line of scrimmage to the 45.
Gain of 3 on the play, brings up second and 7.
For some non-South Jersey games tomorrow, you've got Manasquan and Wall, Roselle and Roselle Park, Shabazz and Weequahic, excuse me if I butchered that, East Orange and Behringer, Red Bank Regional and Long Branch, Steiner and Hamilton West, which is a WJFL matchup, but that's in Central Jersey. Tenafly and Dumont, Teaneck and Hackensack, as Simmons with a bullet pass, incomplete, third down. Middletown South and Middletown North, Westfield and Plainfield, and then Patterson Kennedy and Patterson Eastside. For South Jersey, though, you also have Vineland and Millville. You've got Cherokee and Seneca, Riverside, Florence. Again, the last game that Joe Frappoli will be head coaching after 50 straight years. That's incredible.
That's a great.
He announced his retirement this summer, and Joe Frappoli, even though Florence lost in the playoffs to Pennsgrove, they'll have one final game with Frappoli, who was actually gifted Super Bowl tickets by the Eagles for his 50 years of service in high school football.
That's nice.
Pass is dumped off to Lex. It's enough for a first down. He gets it to the 40, to which he is tackled.
Stop made by Ibn Muhammad. And that is a Gateway first down.
So they'll try this one again from the 39 as they'll move the chains. But along with that, again, Vineland, Millville, Cherokee, Seneca, Riverside, Florence, Haddonfield, Haddon Heights, 94 WIP is covering that game. And then Audubon and Haddon Township in the battle for the Curly Cup. That will be 11 a.m. So make sure to tune in to some, let me restart that. Tune into some Thanksgiving football before you pop the turkey in the oven, before you let the cranberry sauce set. How about you watch some football? Because the first NFL Thanksgiving game, I think, doesn't start until 1 o'clock. I think it's pretty late that the NFL Thanksgiving festivities begin for their 3 games. So you might as well spend the morning watching high school football, spend the afternoon and evening watching NFL. You get the best of both worlds. 2nd and 5 here from the 35 as Gateway is driving probably in the most efficient way that they've been driving all night. You know, they haven't really had that same firepower versus this Woodbury offense, but now that they're on the other side of the ball and now that the clock is running, they've got even more of an incentive to drive that ball as much as they can and utilize their best options. Then it goes to Lex. He gets another 5 yards, goes to the 30. That's going to be 3rd and short. But it'll be 3rd and quite short here. But yeah, when you think about it from a standpoint of, these guys are, some of these guys, especially like Simmons, Bink, Lex, the core of this Gateway offense, they are all playing their final game. So they are going to, they're going to want to ball out in their last opportunity. Rush up the middle. And that will be snuffed short. With now under 90 seconds to play in the 3rd. It'll be 4th down and 4th and 4 from the 31. Again, down 40-6. You're down 34 points. Why not? You got nothing to lose, nothing to hide. You just kind of wing it. Handoff, and that looks like it's going to be short. No, it is enough. Lex got it across. So they got it across, and they'll have time for maybe one more play in the quarter with 20 seconds left. 10 seconds now. They're going to run it with the I form. One receiver to the left, one to the right. Pruitt and Bink in there. They're going to fake. Lets it fly deep. And incomplete. Intended for DJ Bink. With Wilson Torres in there. At the end of the 3rd, we've got one more to play and 12 minutes to go. 40-6 in favor of the Thundering Herd. We'll be right back after this. 3 quarters down, 1 more to play. 2nd down and 10 with a incomplete pass.
Pass is incomplete.
I don't think anybody was ready on that one. It's 3rd down. Again, you just got to line up your best guys and
3rd down and 10.
try to make it the best way you can. And, when they're not ready, when they're not in their right spot. He's lucky with where that football was headed that, Wilson, Torres, or somebody else in the Woodbury secondary didn't pick it off. But now they'll have another chance on 3rd and 10 in a 40-6 game with Woodbury having taken the reins on this one from an early standpoint. Here goes Lex. Leads low. Gets about 5 yards to the 25. And it's 4th down. Taken down by Robbie Meadows.
Tackle made by Meadows.
It'll be 4th and again, mid-range on this one. Gateway again. They converted the last time they had a 4th and
7 for
4th and yardage situation, but now they'll have another chance to drive that ball into the red zone with the 1st down marker at the 20. Feels like a little bit of mist coming in. I don't know. I felt something coming from the sky. Simmons, let's pass fly to Bink. He finds some room. It's enough for a 1st and then some, and he is chased out to the track, and that will be plenty enough for a Gateway 1st down. That got him inside the 10, it looks like. We'll see where they spot it, but that was...
That is a Gateway 1st down!
When Bink caught that ball, that could have been an easy just pass dump, if you will, to that right side where he found somebody open, but that's not route running right there. That's scanning the field as a receiver and making sure that you have those gaps, because he ran laterally from that near sideline all the way out to the far sideline and was able to get, again, that 1st down out of it. Simmons will be taken down. It'll be 2nd and goal as Gateway is on the doorstep of an end zone.
Meadows and Dunbar on the stop.
And we have the clock stopped at 9:16. Timeout called, it appears. I didn't see a signal yet, but...
Attention students, if you are expected to call or text for a ride home this evening, it is time to go ahead and make that contact. Be sure to arrange for your transportation home.
Second down from the 10. Not sure what the delay was for, but now the clock is running again. So, an injury. I didn't see it. My bad. From the 10, 2nd and goal for the Gators with Jack O'Connell in the game. So I guess that answers that question with Lex. Oh, look at that. Big tackle by Anthony Reagan Jr., the coach's kid. Brings up 3rd and goal. Yeah, I've felt a couple of misty drops coming down.
I thought you were just losing it, but I see it on the window.
Yeah, I mean, it was cold and rainy all day Tuesday. It was rough. It was cold, rainy, and windy. The worst trio there. Here comes a line drive pass, caught, and taken down.
Pass complete to Bender.
Completed to Aiden Bender. That'll be 4th and goal. Gateway has been approached with many 4th downs tonight.
Tackle made by Varpella.
It'll be the 3rd 4th down conversion on this drive if they can get it, but it'll be the last play of the drive because either they score or they don't. Unless there's a holding call or something like that that brings them back. If they're not accounting for flags. This will be the last play of the drive that Gateway has shoved and clawed their way towards. It'd be a real shame if they didn't get into the end zone here with O'Connell under center. Drops back, pass, caught, looks like. Yes, touchdown, Gateway, Gavin Lex. Gateway gets back on the board. And it'll be the first time since 2020 that both teams will have scored double-digit points in the Thanksgiving contest. So Gateway cuts that lead down, and the clock will be stopped with 7:10 to play as they have now gotten out of the running clock, got out of that zone. And for Jack O'Connell, that is his first career TD pass. Up, away, and good. PAT goes. PAT is good off the leg of Gateway's number 20, Ghulam Khan. And as we said, well, hold on, we got a flag on the field. We might have a running into the kicker call. That's what I'm hearing up here in the booth. PAT should be good. Again, we're hearing running into the kicker call. Yeah, nice catch by the referee there to catch that flag.
A personal foul. Roughing the holder.
Oh, roughing the holder.
Off the kick, 15 yards.
Yeah, kick still counts. It's 40-13. And for Jack O'Connell, the sophomore, that is his first career touchdown pass. So that will make it a 27-point game. And now, again, with Sean Simmons graduating this June, that would mean that O'Connell would probably be the starting quarterback in 2024 in Daly's sophomore year as a head coach for the Gators.
As a result of the penalty, Gateway will kick off from the Woodbury 45.
So they'll go for a touchback here. This looks weird. You don't see this every day with the kickoff from the opposing 45, but again, because of that personal foul, the roughing the holder call, this will set up kind of an unusual situation here. Could this be a touchback? No. Woodbury picks it up. Breaking through past St. Louis. Oh, Gateway got the ball back. No whistles. No whistles. He's at the 40. And he's finally down after backtracking. Woodbury fumbles it, and Gateway recovers the kickoff. So not only did they get a personal foul, they keep the possession. With Yovan Reyes on the return, they bring it back to the opposing 40, and Woodbury will go back to the drawing board as Gateway has another shot. They converted on the last possible play of the drive on 4th and goal, and now down by 27. Don't hold your breath, but we're not done yet. Although the referees are talking it over. And yes, they will.
1st and 10 for the Gators.
Bring this
from the
one
Woodbury
going.
42-yard line.
Clock is now running, but no, hold on. Hold on here. Timeout is called by Woodbury, so the clock is stopped with 6:07 remaining in the 4th quarter. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow we've got the Pittman Panthers and the Clayton Clippers squaring off in a South Jersey Thanksgiving staple. Their 98th matchup. 98 years ago, 1925.
I'm not even that old yet.
Oh, come on. I mean, 1925, what was that? I'm trying to think of my U.S. history here. That would be what, the, obviously middle of the Roaring 20s.
I was going to say the Roaring 20s.
But I don't think Hoover was in office yet. I think that was beforehand.
I got 40 years coming out of high school next year. I don't remember any of that.
Well, you know, you think of Black Tuesday, Great Depression, 1929. So yes, Pittman and Clayton were playing football back during the Roaring 20s. Back when they wore leather helmets and no pads or no cleats. Everything was leather. But now I gotta look this up.
Were they wearing helmets at all?
Back in the 1920s, I'm not sure if they were,
We've
but
been to the Hall of Fame. We've seen all the old equipment.
we did go. A couple of years ago, we did go to the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton. Calvin Coolidge was the president.
Oh, okay. Put that on your bingo card. Folks.
Yeah, there you go. If you had Calvin Coolidge being mentioned on our DWB broadcast, please mark that off on your bingo cards. I don't know. We should buy like Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards or something like that. Now the clock will run.
You need to bring back your trivia because
We
the
should
baseball
bring back.
trivia is great.
We should bring back the trivia time. Uh-oh, I think the ball came out. Oh no. I think Woodbury recovered the fumble. Oh.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Win and lose it again.
Fumble and a play recovered by Woodbury.
So they had all that going for them. They had the kick return covered by the Gators. And as soon as they got it, they lost it right away. Woodbury uses a timeout. Actually, no, they're just talking on the far sideline. I don't know what's going on there. They have one timeout remaining. Gateway has all three. So I guess the clock will still continue to run with 5:15 to play. But, yeah, I mean... yeah, Calvin Coolidge once said at a dinner party, this young lady came up to President Coolidge and said, I bet, because Coolidge was known for his soft-spoken manner, that he wouldn't talk much, even in his official speeches. I think he had, like, the shortest inauguration speech of all time. But he once told a young lady at dinner, he said, or the young lady once told him, as this was brought out to Sotarian, it's enough for a first down, and it's enough for a Woodbury first down. But yeah, young lady once tells President Coolidge that I bet that you will not say more, or bet that I can make you say more than 3 words tonight. And President Coolidge says, you lose, and does not speak for the rest of the night. So yes, that is your Calvin Coolidge trivia here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. One of the lesser-known presidents.
So now we're in history.
Yes.
This is the silliness we get into when there's a big gap.
They didn't perform it all season long for you. We'd also like to welcome the elementary school students who are joining in with the band tonight.
Yeah, Gateway's band is a phenomenal job. I may get a little upset because they're playing and playing and playing, but I can't complain because it's good music.
They're great. And
They're-
the cheerleaders are amazing too.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the best programs when it comes to the experience of a football game. You go to Gateway and you will see a well-performed football game on every level. Not just the on-field aspect, but also the off-field aspect, the food, the marching band, the cheerleaders. It is the true Friday Night Lights experience. Gateway had a great QB spy by Simmons. Breaking free is number 13, Cameron Scott. Another Woodbury first down. They've got a lot of their subs in. But again, you've got under 4 minutes in the game. There's no need to worry about it, They don't really have anything to play now. Woodbury has locked this game up. They would improve to 7-4 on the 2023 campaign in their final game, concluding Anthony Reagan's 6th season as head coach. So we couldn't hear what the referee said, but that is two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties that offset. So they'll line it up on 1st and 10 from the 35. Timeout call by the Gators. We'll take a quick break. 3:13 remaining in the ball game. Woodbury leads by 27. After the timeout,
1st and 10 for the Herd.
Woodbury back with it on a 1st and 10 from the 35. If you didn't hear before we went to the break, there were two unsportsmanlike penalties that offset. Rush up the middle. Oh my goodness, what a carry there by Cameron Scott. Taken down by Dylan Pruitt.
Along with Dylan Pruitt.
And Kahn on that play as well. It'll be 2nd and short. Under 3 minutes to play.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Handoff with the middle to number 10, Samir Pettit. And he is down enough for a Woodbury 1st down, and that should put this game on ice.
Stop made by Dan Wilkins.
Just over 2 minutes to play.
1st and 10 for the Herd.
Don't forget to tune in bright and early tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. for the Pittman Panthers and the Clayton Clippers in our final and 23rd broadcast of the 2023 season with a South Jersey contest in the 98th edition of Pittman and Clayton. It's 1st and 10 for the Thundering Herd from the 21. Handoff up the middle. That one will fall short. I think he got about 7 yards on that.
Tackle made by Pruitt. 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 here with under 90 left to play. Like this score would end up being 40-13 in favor of the Thundering Herd if it holds. Snap drop by Ibn Muhammad. Muhammad breaks free to the 5. He waltzes forward and falls forward. No, clock is still running here. Well, that should be the last play of the game as they've got now 40 left. That should be enough. I think they're going to line it up for one more snap. We'll see what they get unless they opt to kneel. They're at the 2-yard line. They've got 20 seconds to play, and hold on, clock is stopped now. Yeah, we've got a flag on the play here from the 2, stopping the clock with 14 left. We'll see what the Whitecap has to say about it. False start on Woodbury. And I think this will be enough to put this game away and to kneel it out. Woodbury would improve to 7-4 to end their campaign. Gateway with their first year under head coach Andrew Daly to go to 2-8. Woodbury would improve to 33-11 all time in their Thanksgiving traditional game. Here comes one last handoff to John Wright. It's going to be short of the end zone as the clock hits 0, and Woodbury, despite not having a state title this year, they will at least continue their winning streak in the annual Thanksgiving tradition. They win their 4th straight, winning 37-10 in 2020, 34-7 in 2021, and 6-0 in 2022. Woodbury with their 33rd win in this all-time matchup and their 4th straight with Anthony Reagan as head coach. They'll meet at the 50, and that's where we will wrap up for this Thanksgiving Eve special here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Again, our next and final broadcast of the 2023 fall season will be tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., with the Pittman Panthers and the Clayton Clippers. From everybody here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Raal, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan, my wonderful producer, coming out on short notice, Donna Wilkins. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. to close the 2023 football season with a great Thanksgiving matchup on hand. The final score, Woodbury 40, Gateway 13. That's all for us today. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.